It's okay.
Just for lighting.
Maybe I'm just so angelic.
You are in your way. Right? In the chat, let us know where you're calling from so we can see where you all are. And it's also good for your referral business. So you can see where all your peers are as well. We won't go as long as we did last time. We'll try to keep it short. At least we'll do more fun.
No, I think we just had a lot of compliance to go over.
Yeah, we did. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. You're ready?
Ready as I can be.
All right. Welcome to your July 15th, 2024 Monday meeting with Carly, Katelyn, and Claire.
Wow.
Where we talk about stats and articles and headlines and fun training stuff to keep you guys up to date. The energy is really high today. This is gonna be fun.
There's a lot of people.
We've got people calling in from Peterborough, St. Catharines, all over. I know somebody was looking for referral in St. Catharines, and we have somebody. So we pretty much
do actually.
Out of almost 500 of you, there's somebody almost everywhere across the GT Ontario. And if not, we know somebody in Century 21 system. So that's good. So how was the weekend, or what's the energy? Tell us what's happening.
Open houses.
No open. I know for sure open houses. I got the email. So are you online? Are you?
I sent
here?
out a couple this week. Is anybody working?
Who did I know was doing open houses? There was one in Bowmanville.
Elizabeth did one.
Okay. I haven't heard.
Germelin did one.
Okay. So we'll need to get the press. Tishia is online. How was yours, Tishia? How many people did you get through? It'll be delayed for a second.
I wonder if you can put us up there.
9 total. Not bad. Are we still doing open houses then? Are people going then? 9 people went through in July, so that's good. That's what happens when they're okay. Good thing we don't live in Vancouver. We'd be struggling. That's okay. We'll bring the energy yourself. Claire, did you hear anything on the weekend about? I didn't hear anything personally about open houses, so maybe that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know.
There's lots of stuff going on this weekend there. Mr. Trump there got himself in trouble, and that's always interesting.
I was super.
He handled it like a witch, like
a boss.
Oh, yeah.
You got a photo op after? I'm not gonna comment. I don't know.
Now the controversy is, was it a bullet or was it a shard of glass? Right? Everybody else says it was shard of glass. Both of it's bad, but shard of glass hit it there, and then
That's a couple of people that died.
That's
also.
true, really?
Yeah.
And somebody did die.
Yeah, died. Yeah. So.
They're not talking about that.
Yeah.
I think he fell Trump and he got up as President Trump. He's gonna get a lot of things.
yeah, I don't know. It's too bad. And then Team Canada did okay.
Yeah.
Typical Canada, 4th. Good job. Everybody else in the world is number 1 or nothing, right? But we're number 4. We're all happy, but that's okay. That's an international sport. We're just new to that. The Argonauts won.
Woo!
Hashtag sports.
Does anybody know who the Argonauts are?
I love sports.
Yeah?
Love favorites.
Oh. Okay, what do you want to do? A couple Nelson busy weekend? Tales from the street?
I think appointments were down.
I would say.
We had a lot of offers like
Okay.
So the appointments were down. We're usually averaging about 280 appointments Friday, Saturday, Sunday, about 180 this weekend. But we did have over 30 offers type Friday, Saturday, so that was okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so the market's actually, I've got the stats here, but the market's interesting. So we're definitely in what we call a summer market, right? Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Summer market, people are doing vacation, so on and so forth. I mean, there's a good opportunity to buy. If you got buyers out there thinking, hey, I want to, summer vacation, I want to wait till September, like you and everybody else. So you wait till September, the price is going to jack up. So if you're thinking about buying something, you better do it in today's market rather than the fall market, I'm thinking. So if you got buyers sitting there, then, away you go, right?
Well, the other thing that people are forgetting, even when you have listings and buyers, is that there's a 30 to 60 day closing period. So if they're trying to get the kids in before school, that would be the time now is to get them in for September. So if they've got kids, that's one of the objections as well.
Things are so screwy up right now, like kids. If you have children right now, does anybody have grandkids and stuff like that? I mean, if you've got daycare, everybody try to put a kid in a daycare. I know that
I see a
anybody
few
here is doing
moms here
that.
today. That's good.
So it seems like nowadays you got to line up for everything here. To get kids in daycare, it's like
You gotta get them on before you even
yeah, let's
have a
put it another way.
baby.
If you're gonna get married, right, you want to book a hall. How far ahead do you have to book a hall
6
nowadays?
months.
1 year.
1 year, right? Okay, so now if you got a kid, you want to put the kid in daycare, you got to book a year and a half.
How
In
do
other
you,
words,
so how do you plan that?
In other words,
As soon as you find out you're pregnant, you gotta get on that.
Even
list.
before that.
yeah, the second call should be daycare. The first call should be your husband.
Literally. I have heard though in Toronto, there's lots of daycare spots because there's not a lot of families in Toronto. It's more the suburbs that are struggling.
And they got that $10 a day thing. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah, like the
Subsidized.
price is like way cheaper
Yeah,
now.
subsidized through the government now.
That's okay. So we got a lot of stuff in Harvard. So I'm not going to take up too much time, but a couple of tales from the street, things to watch out for. Treb is not your friend, and Rico's not your friend. And the fines are getting ridiculous. We're not saying we're guilty. We're not going to admit to any guilt here. But what happened here is we've got somebody that reran a listing. You guys remember a long time ago, you could rerun listings that say they changed the taxes or change the room size or make small little rooms. And then Trev came in and said, no, you can't do that. Any change has to be made with an amendment and has to be a material fact change. You just can't be changing the taxes from $2 to $1 and do a rerun. And they said at the time, this was back in March, at the time, the fines could be heavy, as fine as $5,000. So just so you know, somebody got a desperate client. They did rerun the property. They did have amendments done. But Trev still wants to fine them $5,000 for rerunning listings on a regular basis. So be
That's
careful.
crazy. That's half your commission right there.
Yeah.
Rerunning a listing without material facts. Okay, so it's a heavy fine for that. Be careful. We've had problems with showings. Anybody have showings? Anybody have a, I don't know, how do I put this in a way that's nice? Anybody have a, what's the hell going on? What's going on here?
I feel like we're like overstimulated.
Holy smokes, okay. Everybody cough all at once and get over it.
Get it all out. I'm gonna mute.
From all angles. So sorry.
Anyway, so have you guys ever had a property for sale and somebody's booked the appointment, not showed up? What does your client said to you? What did your client say to you when the client doesn't show up?
They
The
didn't
agent
show up.
doesn't show up. Agent doesn't show up. What did your client say? They get mad, right?
Especially if they've got kids and pets to deal with, they get really upset about it.
Especially in this market when every showing is
It counts,
something. Like
yeah.
it's not just, you know,
And they're looking-
2022 and you've got 30 showings you don't even know. Like every
So it
showing
counts.
is measured and
Yeah.
tracked.
So people have a habit right now of driving up to a house, and it's happened more than once. Driving up to a house, the client says, I'm not looking at that thing, it's a piece of garbage, and they carry on. They don't bother looking at the house. You might as well write Rico a check for $3,000. And probably $1,000 course.
Do they cancel on time when they are in the?
I'm just telling you, people just show up and they don't
No
cancel.
shows, no show.
They don't cancel, right?
Yeah,
And or they cancel after the fact, right?
And they just go in, open the door and close the door.
That's what you should do.
Also-
Put the card in.
Almost.
Why are business cards so expensive? You can't leave a business card behind? Has anybody had showings and no business cards? That happens all the time, right? So I think you gotta leave business cards for showings, and if you can't make an appointment, you gotta cancel it. Otherwise, it's a big fine. It's a huge
Yeah,
fine.
and we had 2 cases last week. People are complaining. This is the market where they have time. Their clients are angry. They are complaining, and you will get fined. And you cannot say, "I drove there and my client changed his mind." It doesn't cut it. You booked a showing. You need to fulfill that showing and enter the home and leave a business card to prove that you were there. If they didn't like it, that's a whole other thing. You can give feedback to listing agent, right? But you have to attend the showing or cancel it before the time.
So here's the problem. Here's the excuses I get. I booked back-to-back appointments and we just ran out of time. Is that your client's problem? Is that the seller's problem? All right.
Cancel it.
My client didn't like the property. That's fine too. But in Toronto, these are things out in London too. So in Toronto it happens all the time. When you start showing properties in Peterborough, London, these guys here don't know that you don't show up. This is all brand new to them. So they're going to take you to task every single time. So be careful with that, right?
The other habit I've seen is that you book a showing so that you receive notifications because your client says, I want to know how that property does. Let me know how many offers they get. So you book a showing so you get notifications, but you didn't, that's not a showing. So you can see offer registrations in Broker Bay. You don't have to book a showing to see that. You can log in and any showing and see the registered offers. So don't do that either.
Well, they could cancel it right then.
Just click manage and cancel. It's very easy on your
You
phone
can
now.
cancel on your
Back
Broker
in the day,
Bay,
you had to
right?
call them, so it was a little bit more of a
You don't have
pain.
to- Like, you don't have to bother to go out and find it, you know, it's public phone and call them.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so be careful out there. If plans change, get a hold of people. Now in Toronto, it's very difficult. People are only allowed what, half-hour showings? I don't know why half-hour showings, and
I think that's a COVID thing.
let's say you're showing condos downtown, you got an appointment for between 2 o'clock and 2:30. You try to drive down there and get on the 401 or get on the Don Valley Parkway, get anywhere else. I mean, it takes you an hour just to get there. How can you plan for traffic?
Yeah, that's a Broker Bay default thing. So you can change it to 60 minutes. You just book an hour for
Right?
yourself.
So just be careful out there. That's all I'm saying there.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, some of them restrict it. They can. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, you can try to book two. I've had
2
people book
appointments.
2 appointments on mine before to get the hour. Yeah.
Just make sure that if you don't show up for the first one, you
That's true.
cancel
True, true. Good point.
And
And someone else is mentioning in the chat here, it's a good just sort of tidbit for everybody. If you have a condo listing, you might want to label the key itself, not just the lockbox, but put a little tag on the key. Because if that person's showing multiple units, it's really easy to get those keys swapped. And you're also going to get really angry calls from the next showing agent trying to get in. I see some nods like this has happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last
That's a good idea.
thing I'm gonna mention here, we'll get into stats here and then you guys can talk about realm. Last thing I want to mention here is how many people here give feedback when you show properties?
I do.
Okay? Because
It helps.
karma is very good, right? So if you give feedback when you show properties, then you can expect feedback when people show your listings. So if you're not getting any feedback on your showings, chances are you're not getting feedback on the showings you do.
Mhm.
And when you give when you guys give feedback as a buyer's agent too, don't just say like, oh, my client wasn't interested and leave it at that. Like, we get it. You're not putting an offer, but like say why. Like you could say, oh, like the neighbor was naked outside. Maybe you could tell him to like stay inside next time. Or maybe it smells like cigarettes. So then the listing agent could be like, okay, like let's change the smell or like let's do something. So there's some things that you can help your sellers as well. So if you're a buyer's agent, try to give specific feedback. Like obviously if the house was too small or something like that, that's good feedback that they can't change. But if there's something that they could change about the property, then maybe let them know.
I will also say, don't
Did you get a naked
copy-
person? Ooh.
Class.
So like, that would be something to tell the listing agent so they could
Yeah.
call them and be like, hey, go outside until I sell this thing.
Yeah. Also, don't just like copy and paste the feedback. Like if you get really detailed feedback and it's a little bit crude, like don't just copy and paste
Oh,
and
to
send it
your
to your
own
client.
client.
Soften it up a little, like take their
Yes.
feedback and make it in a way that they're not going to feel offended, but it's helpful because I've seen that too, and they just
The
get kinda
seller
mad,
gets really
so.
upset about it. And then they wanted to cancel the contract because of it. So you do have to be a little
Soften
nice to your sellers
Yeah.
too when you're talking about their home.
Good news, TSX. Last Friday hit a record high.
Woohoo!
So how is it the stock market is doing very, very strong? American economy's been very, very strong, and real estate we're kind of in a limbo, which tells me that real estate would be kicking up soon too. So real estate's not at the end of the world, it's just in transition. We're in the summer market. Stock market's taken off, so don't anybody think this is the end of the world. It's just a timing, right? That's all it is. So stock market going up like that, that's very good news. Just going to the stats right now, as of last night, we got 24,000, almost 500 listings, 24,484 active listings. 11,400 are condos, 13,300 are freehold. So still a little more freehold than condos. Sales, we're doing okay. Sales compared to this year versus last year, we got 2,400. Last year was 2,500. So sales are only down 5% from July of last year. Freeholds are 1,500 versus 1,540 last year. So it's -3. And condominiums 889 last year, 962, -8%. So everybody's saying that the condominium market is not going anywhere, or the condo market has more inventory, but still it's only 8% down from last year.
Mhm.
And if I use the numbers from 2023, the first 14 days, sorry, June 2024, last month, sales are only down 13%, they're down 21%. Freeholds are actually down 25%. So condos are only down 13, freeholds are down 25 compared to June. So that's an interesting stat. So everything I've been reading about is condos, and flood, and over supply and prices. It's not happening the way that the media is putting it out there. Anybody here have any listings sitting there, condo listings sitting there, not doing anything? I just did a quick little check. I went to C1. I wanted to see that the properties that have sold so far and to the first 14 days in July versus first 14 days of July last year. I wanted to check the average price. So I just went to C1, and the average price in 2023, actually we had 141 sales last year in 2023. The average price is 803 for condominiums in EC1. This year, 800,000. So it's dropped $3,000 in 1 year. So again, I'm reading the media and saying all these things going on, but I'm not actually seeing it here. So curious. But condominium market, there is still a flood of inventory. There still are more inventory out there, and properties are sitting there. What's happening in the economy? Just off topic here, you guys can talk about other things. So just the condominium market, there are owner occupied. So all the listings that are listed that are owner occupied. Did I write that down? Yeah, but I didn't print it out. Doesn't matter, but it was about, well, maybe it's here. Oh, lucky. Okay, owner occupied. Of the 11,300 condos, 4,000 of them are owner occupied. That means that 4,000 means 8,000 are not owner occupied. So, which tells me that condominiums, particularly condominiums, people are trying to sell them, and that's why there's more inventory, and there's investors that are selling them, and people that are renting these properties out selling them, but they've already paid too much for these places. They don't want to lose money, so they haven't reduced the price. Is this common? The guys are trying to sell it. Did they pay too much for the place and they don't want to lose money? That's it. So it's all in them, right? So the market is there, and this is what we're seeing here. A lot of sellers, they're not, even though they're reading the newspapers and doom and gloom, and the real estate market's slow, that it's not them. It's everybody else. So because they don't want to reduce the prices. So be careful out there. We had one that deal fell apart last week, and the appraisal didn't come through, and it luckily, did they get their money back?
They're in process.
It's a firm deal.
No, suburbs.
It's a small one too. It was like 550,000 didn't appraise. So that's a problem. But yeah, you got to talk to your clients. Be careful with your staging. Some people here have still paying for staging, and the clients change their mind. So you got to come up with a way to get the client to prepay the staging, or just pay it and lump it, or have them pay for it all together.
I would have it in the Schedule A as well. I know, like for some of ours, we've been saying we'll pay for the first 30 days. After that, the seller has the option to renew it and pay half of the cost, which is what it usually costs anyways from the stager, or we'll remove it. Or for condos, we're recommending virtual staging instead of full staging, just because they're not moving. But Carly did the opposite and staged it.
So just be careful out there. Yeah, and yeah, that's all right. Good. Leases, there's 13,000 active leases, 8,000 are condos, 5,000 are freeholds. Leases themselves are actually up 19% for condos and up 12% overall, and minus 3% for freeholds. So condominium leases are actually up 19%. So that's good news too. Good. All right, you guys.
Okay. I'm going to share, this is just more good news. I believe this is US, not Canadian, but it's pretty close. This is a graph, and you can get it on Instagram. It's Housing Wire, the account, and they showed a bunch of graphs, but I like this one. It's about foreclosures and new bankruptcies are still below pre-pandemic levels. So if you look at here, like this black line shows where we are sort of right now, 2021, 2023. COVID was really low here, but all the foreclosures and power sales bankruptcies were like way higher. This is recession time, 2004 leading up to 2008. See how high it is? And it's gone down, but we're lower today than we were pre-pandemic. So this is good news. So when the media is talking about all the doom and gloom, we're actually not as bad as we have been in previous years. So I think this is more good news too. And I think it's a sign that good things that were coming, which is good. We're trying to keep everything positive. So what do you think about that? I don't have any more new stuff. Do you have new stuff you want to go into before I go into some reminders and training?
No, okay, so.
Okay, so I wanted to, this is something to talk to your clients about. Toronto has just found out that the water meters have been failing. There's like thousands of people in the city who have got hit with really big bills. I was one of them last year and I thought I was an anomaly. But basically your water meters electronically send your bill limits to the billing company, to third-party company, and that's how you get your bills. So for about 3 years of my new house, I was getting a regular bill. Everything looked normal, looked like it was proper water, but I had a pool. So it looked a little bit low, but I didn't question it. So basically, if your water meter is not working, they take an average of your previous bills and they sort of bill you for that. So you wouldn't know by looking at it because your bill kind of looks normal. Turns out my water meter hadn't been working in 3 years, and I got a back bill for all of those times for me filling my pool for the summers, hot tubs, all the stuff, previous owners as well. But it's not just me. It was 140,000 other people, actually, who they realized that the meter itself was malfunctioning. So people got hit with $1,000 bills, really big bills. So I think it's a good conversation with your clients. If you've got people in Toronto with water meters, get them to check if it's reading properly, check the meter, check your bill, and make sure that they're not one of these people because they're getting hit with some really big bills. And I was one of them too. So yeah, it's interesting. Thankfully you're in Durham, so you won't have that issue. I don't know.
I got a Toronto house too.
So you better
It's tenanted though.
So check your water meter, make sure you're being billed properly. That's it for news, economic kind of stuff. So before we transfer, do you want to do anything else? Okay, before we get into Realm, Katelyn and I want to talk a little bit about sign backs, right? So we're in a market right now where we are signing back. We have listings that are not selling. You may get one offer. It's too low, obviously, because that's their strategy in starting. And a lot of listing agents will say it's too low. I'm offended. I'm not doing anything with it. But when you get an offer, you might only get that one offer. It literally may be your only offer. And that is somebody who is willing to purchase your client's property, and it's everything. So you need to sign back and you need to work with it. You can't just let it die and be offended and let it go. So we want to talk a little bit about being comfortable to sign back, and it's sort of talking with your client and getting them comfortable. And you're negotiating now with your own client in a way too. So they've hired you because they're looking for your expertise. They're not looking for you to hold their hand and baby them and not give them the truth. They've hired you as an expert to give them the truth, to help them sell their property. So we're not here to like sugarcoat things and make it fun for them. We're here to sell their property, right? So I'm going to show a clip. Hopefully it works. Have you guys watched the new Ryan Serhant show, Owning Manhattan? Anyone watched it on Netflix? Another glamorized real estate show, but I quite like him and I think he's got some interesting stuff to say. We'll see if this works. I always struggle with them
too. Optimize for video clip.
Yes, thank you. See if I can. I'm gonna play right from my Netflix if it works. Let's see. We'll have to see if the sound is happening here too. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah. I have a backup plan if this doesn't work. Cool.
Just pull over here. Yeah, pull over here.
We got action. On park.
You just freaked me out. Okay, get in the car.
What's up?
What's going on?
Oh my God, it's hot out there.
Yeah.
So I just got off the phone with the agent.
Yeah.
I just got proof of funds for 737 Park.
I think my husband would like this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
10.2 million.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
One, good work.
Yeah.
Good work.
I'm working. Thank you.
Low.
I know. I told him that.
Because it's a steal of a deal, even at the asking price. What time is it? So let me just call him.
Well, Ryan, how are you? It's been a while. Any news for me?
I do actually have good news with you. I'm with Niall. Niall's been able to pull an offer. And the offer, okay, their starting price is 10.2.
Think we got disconnected?
Sellers are like
little babies. They don't actually grow up. They just look like 52-year-old men. So what happens when someone hangs up the phone on you? You call back
Home right back.
and pretend that we
just-
got disconnected.
100%.
Brian, you wouldn't believe it. I just got a prank phone call telling me I got an offer for 10.2.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up.
Brian,
10.2
is not a real offer.
I understand.
You told me when I gave you this listing,
Yes.
you told me that you could get me $11,880,000.
If I came to you right now with a briefcase of cash with $11.5 million in it, would you do that deal? Yes or no?
I would do the deal if it was all cash, under 30-day close.
Okay, let us go back to them.
Call me back. Call me back.
Okay, bye. I think let's give them a call.
Okay.
All right. Don't tell them that I'm in the car because I don't want them to feel like Dad's here.
Yeah,
you know.
I got you. Hey, Joe, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for the call.
I got the email that you sent with the offer and the proof of funds, and the seller's just not even going to entertain it where we're at right now. So my question to you is, have they given you any other indication on where a deal would land? Just broker to broker real quick.
I've been authorized for 11. That's the highest that Garrett and his husband have allowed me to go.
Amazing. Okay, let me go to work and I'll call you back.
Great.
Thanks.
They faked the first offer.
Now they're negotiating with their own
Hey,
client.
Ryan, okay? Do we have any good news here, or?
Yes. It's not 11.5, but we got them to 11.
11.
So then
I'm not even going to consider that.
I understand. But as I think this through, there is the chance that if we pull the deal, that they just say, okay, because you know what? You have all of your dollars that are tied up in this apartment, just in this apartment, and we are looking for one buyer. This buyer has lots of different apartments. Yes, it's a beautiful building. Yes, it's Park Avenue, but there's also other options out there. So if I put myself in the buyer's shoes, I'm saying to myself, okay, they don't want to do the deal, and now all of a sudden it's not about the money, now it's about ego.
All right. What do you suggest we do?
I think we go back to them at 11.2.
11.2. Okay.
Did he hang up?
Make the deal.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I thought you hung up on me again. What'd you say?
I said, make the deal.
Thank you. We'll get back to you. Let me see if they can do it. No guarantees because they give us a hard at 11, but I'll come back to you. Bye.
This is real life. This is like not a lot more money.
Hey, Joe, I have a best and final. So it's 11-2, all cash.
11.2, Niall. 11.2 done. But we want all other offers held as backup, no other showings.
Okay. Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. So the point is you got to go back and forth. You got to go back and forth and work with your seller, broker to broker, work with the broker. You have the one offer, so you got to do something with it.
Yeah.
How realistic is that?
I don't know. I just had a listing last week. It took us 6 sign backs to
Forget
get there.
a $10 million part.
Yeah.
Let's say it's like $500,000. How like over the phone, is that practical or do you put it right?
You'll be putting it in paper, obviously. That part's for
Do it on the phone? I'm
Sometimes.
curious because I was taught differently, like, you know, this is in writing, you can't get anything there, but I'm just curious the next gen. So you guys would do similar to that?
I started with paper and then instead of signing back and forth, like.
Yeah.
So one thing we used to do, we used to train like this, and I'm looking at Peter here back there and Jess, those guys, we used to tell the agents, have a conversation with the listing agent and talk.
Agent to agent.
He said, let's talk broker to broker. Let's have a conversation.
How we can get our.
Where are you at? What are you doing? Where he's been? And then there's a bit of a shenanigans going on too, right? You're not gonna spill the beans until where your client's at. But you're gonna get a feel for what's going on, so you maybe negotiate before you do that stage.
Yeah.
Like these guys here wanted 11.2, and they said there's 10 million. That's my bottom line. They can't afford a penny more, and that's a different conversation.
They're usually lying.
That's
They
why
usually
I always say put it in writing. Because now that you say it's sold 11.2, everybody's happy, and then you go to put it in writing. Oh, well, wait a minute.
There's also some things that can be powerful about a silent sign back and forth. Like sometimes the agents just keep bashing each other and sending comparables, and then it gets to the point where like no one's coming across. So you're just like, forget it. I'm just going to send the sign back. And then you're just silently sending it back. And then it somehow it works out. But sometimes too much talking doesn't help either. But it depends on the other side.
Yeah.
But the point is to keep
reason why
going.
this really wasn't, this is made for TV.
I know, but
Because they never said, well, the park sold for this and the one upstairs, up in the level, except for that one sold here and
At
this
some
one
point,
sold
that
there
doesn't
and that
matter.
sold there.
I will say today's market, I don't know if it's about comparables. It's about what the seller wants and what the buyer wants to pay, and your job, you got to get them together. We're not even using comparables right now.
Sometimes
Buyers
the
don't care.
comparables are used in the first round, and then you're like, forget it. Who wants to pay what and who's going to
Seller doesn't care. They want 22 comps. Buyer doesn't care. They want 2018 comps. Like,
but like, we don't like to be dropping the ball on our side. You always want to put the other ball on their side and let them say yes or no, but don't get the deal and be like, no,
Yeah,
just
keep it going.
send back what your sellers want and just keep going.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. I have one reminder quickly before we get into Katelyn. I think this is for RICO insurance. Is that what you used?
Yeah.
So your RICO insurance is due August 23rd, $500. It's due. I would just pay it now.
For
Get it out of the way.
everybody.
For everybody. This is
A lot of
all
people-
across the board.
A lot of people say, I just paid that. No, you paid your Ria Korea dude, or your Trev or something. You didn't pay this one yet. So this is the only one that I agree that you should be paying for, because this saves your bacon. This is for insurance. This one here you shouldn't complain about. Errors, emissions insurance is probably the most important thing.
You see it last week, so.
This is
The invoice last week.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to dive into a couple of things. We're going to do Realm. But first, I just want to make sure you guys all know we have a WhatsApp group, right? That's what we send out special announcements and trainings on, right? We have a help group and then we have a special announcements group. So we've been posting all of our new Realm training in the announcements group. I keep putting it in the other group because it's bigger, but if you're not on the WhatsApp group about announcements, get on that. I've sent out emails for it, but I'll send out another one today. But that's where we've been throwing in a lot of the training and sessions, so it doesn't get overwhelmed with all the other messages. It's just on announcements. So if you're not on that, we will send out an email today. But just so you know, we've been doing the Realm training. We started last week. It was like a 2-hour webinar. It was here. So I've been sending you guys out weekly, pretty much actually daily emails about all the Realm training that's happening. We've just been using the Realm training through Treb because they know the program very well, that there's no point in putting the extra work in creating an entire presentation. So we've been signing up for their webinars, but there's actually one happening today after this at 2 o'clock. So if you guys want to stick around afterwards, we'll play that. Or I sent out a link this morning to sign up for it if you guys want to watch it from home. But today they're going to be talking about searching in Realm specifically. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m., again, Kennedy office will be here. It's going to be doing the CMA on Realm. So they're going to walk through that. I'm going to not be teaching that as much, the CMA. I'm going to be steering you guys more towards the Hub 21, C21 Present, because I find that it's a much easier, straightforward process than the Realm one. Plus, the whole goal is to separate you guys from the other brokerages out there when you guys are doing your listing presentations. So if you're all showing up with the same CMA, it just looks kind of silly sometimes. That's why I prefer for you guys to use the Hub 21 one. But that's tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing the Realm mobile app, and that's going to be at 2 o'clock. And then on July 22nd, which is next week, we're going to be doing land registry. So they've pretty much gone over all the topics. Now they're just narrowing them down. But while we're here, I'm going to just show you guys a few of the most common questions I've been getting lately. Otherwise, I really want you guys to watch the webinars for sure, because I think they help. Or we have that WhatsApp or that Google Drive of more booklets if you guys prefer to read and learn that way. And then, like I mentioned, in end of July, we're going to be having a manager at every office for a certain time. And that's not to teach you guys how to use Realm. On those dates when like one of us is at the offices, we're not here to teach you guys how to use Realm. It's to hopefully you guys have attended the seminars, you've touched it, you've played with it. Now you've got some last minute questions on maybe specific things you're doing in Stratus that you want to find in Realm. So that's what those more one-on-ones are going to be for. So I'm hopefully you guys have all opened this all up. But anyways, I wanted to do just 3 quick things. So one of the most common questions I'm getting is how do I transfer my searches from my prospect searches from Stratus to Realm? Has anyone done that so far? Just one? Has anyone not done that? It's okay if you haven't. I'm just really curious where we're sitting right now.
It's okay to start fresh.
No
too.
one, you guys didn't put your hands up. So yes or no, haven't done it. Okay. Okay, so what you're gonna do, and you can do this today, you would go to Realm, and this little, you're gonna click on your face here, and you'll see under settings. And there's a handout that we've handed out for this too, but when you scroll down, you're gonna see Stratus searches. So these are those automated searches that go out to your contacts every morning, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click that, and then on the side here, you're gonna see this button that says import, which means it's gonna import from Stratus into Realm. So you can see Carly has done quite a bit. It said what date she imported it so that she can keep track of who she's imported over. You can also just do a select all button and import all of them. So it's very easy to get all those searches sent from Stratus over to Realm. If you're having a hard time with this, we have trained the front desk staff to do this. So if you don't want to do this step, just call the front desk girls. Not yet. I'm going to give them a couple of weeks to let you guys do it. But probably in that last week of panic, we're going to allow you guys to call the girls to basically just do it. You're just going to have to give them your login codes and all that. If you don't want to give your login codes, then you'll have to do it yourself because you got to do the authentication and all that. But that's how you do it.
I will add, once you import your search, I would go into the search and audit it.
Yes. Make sure they're the same. Make sure the bedrooms, for example, if you want minimum 3 bedrooms, you want to go in and double check that 3 and 4 and 5 bedrooms is selected and all of that stuff, right? Yeah. So you'll click on your face. You'll click settings. And then you'll scroll down the left side, you'll see Stratus searches. And then you'll just click on the ones you want imported. So you'll just see a quick import button, and then it would tell you what date it was imported. So you'll know which ones you didn't import because it will be blank. I haven't done list, but I think list is the same thing probably. Yeah. So if you have specific lists as well on Stratus, then you can also import those. Okay, so that's how you do that. So today after this at 2 o'clock, we're going to be talking about searches. So I'm not going to dive too much into that. But one of the other common questions I'm getting is how do I print it on one page? So a lot of people will see, like if you want to go on a showing the property and you want to bring the MLS sheet with you, you'll notice when you print it now, it's like 3 pages, whereas you guys are all used to that one. So you'll see here, it's got many different options. So when you go to print it, it's going to have broker full and it's going to have Realm generic. I'll just show you guys what it looks like if you guys were to do nothing.
Which one?
Realm. This is if you just want to print a listing.
Broker full?
Just broker. I'm going to show you a different one.
Broker full, Realm generic.
It's really slow.
Oh, sorry, because my default switches to PDF. It'll just take a second.
Sorry. And it really freezes, right?
Yeah, it's trying to search, wants to make it a PDF.
Okay, so currently if you were to print it today, this is what it's going to look like. So obviously you're not going to want to roll up 6 pages on every listing that you guys are going to see, right? So what you'll do is you'll go to print. You'll see that there's broker sheet or client sheet. So if you want to give your client one, you're going to click client sheet and Realm generic. You can also take out things. So you can take out Realm or map. You can keep listing table. I'm going to just do listing details and then you go print. This, I don't know if it will stay because you'll see here, it just prints the Stratus version of it. So hopefully Realm is also going to make a 1-pager, but for now, this is the current solution to it so that you just have one.
It's going to take a second.
It'll also take a second.
You can do it on double-sided.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can do double-sided. Some people still don't even want that. So totally up to you guys. I personally email myself them and don't even bother with the printing. We keep it really paperless. That way you don't have to make extra stops before a showing. There we go. So this is what it'll look like as a client full, but you'll see it's in the Stratus form. This may change. So this is what it is today. The other common question I am getting, which was last week, was, did I just screw that up? The other question I'm getting is people like to, especially if you're in Stratus, some of us have customized how we like to see things on that table chart. So once this goes through.
Sorry, I make a lot of PDF versus printing. Defaulted.
I think we're good. Okay, we're just gonna go to search. Let's just see. Okay, so up here you'll see layout. So right now we are currently on the consumer view. Some of us, like myself, I like to see table view because this is how I'm used to seeing it on Stratus. So lots of us are probably used to that. So you'll notice that it gives you a very generic way of seeing things. I don't know if these are all sold. Let's just see. I'm gonna pick out a bunch of things. So up here, you can see columns. So this is realm generic. If you want your own customized, you can customize this however you want. So for example, lots of people like to see the sold date. You'll see here, sold date is not one of the options. So you can actually go to add a column, and then you'll find all of the different columns that you can do. So we're all gonna have very different ways of viewing them. Sold date. And you can move these up. So if there's a specific part of the column somewhere that you like to see it, some people like to see contract date followed by sold date. You can do that. What's another one people like to see? Days on market. I know last week someone wanted to see contract date, so we'll just do that just for now. So they want to know like when it was set up. So we'll scroll that. So kind of go based off what you like right now. And then you can save it and then you're gonna name it. So God, my arms are not good here. Just do like Carly test or Katelyn test. And then you'll just do save. What you'll notice though, anytime you log in, you always have to go back to click your thing. It will always give you the default one, but you can do test. And then you'll see there, now I've got my sold date. And then you can sort it however you want. I always like to sort it by the most recent sold and then the contract dates. Same thing now when you go to print, this is another thing that has bothered some people because some people like to go on listing appointments and they want to just bring out the list, right? But what you'll notice is that it doesn't, sorry, it's gonna do that thing again for Carly. It only does 8 columns. So if you like to print your tables when you go on a listing presentation with all the solds, you might want to just make all of your 8 most important columns at the beginning and then the other, whatever columns you pick on the other side.
Yeah.
Does this make sense to anyone? Does anyone use this stuff? I see some, this is for specific agents. I know I do this a lot.
You'll know when you log into RUM and you don't like the way it looks because your brain is used to that. That's your signal that you might want to change your columns, and you just print it out in Stratus in front of you and just match up all the columns.
Yes. So you'll see here, it's only going to print specific. It only does portrait mode as well. It doesn't do landscape yet, how we always like it. So again, these are things that we just have to get our brains used to. But you'll see there's only a specific column. So whatever columns you like the best, make sure they're at the beginning. So that's how you customize the columns. I think those were the only 3 I was going to mention. Is there anything else?
I have one thing I just want to like kind of remind or show you guys. This Treb homepage isn't going away. So all this is a landing page that directs you to different parts of the internet. So whether it's regulations or realm, this will exist still. So if you're worried about the roster or links that you're used to, this will still exist. Because remember, if you clicked here, it used to go to Stratus. Now you're just going to go to realm. So as soon as you click this, then it's going to go to that third-party site for your searches. But this is just a homepage. So this doesn't change.
Initially, right now, you log in on the RUM, this doesn't come up.
It depends on which link you use.
If you're logging in through app.realm.com, then it will go directly to Realm. This one, we're still doing torontomls.net, and that will get you Stratus and all this stuff. So it depends on what login you guys go to.
What's your...
Can you manage 2 searches at the same time? Is that possible? Like we did on
Oh, like a new window when you opened up a new window? That's a good question. I don't actually know.
If I were you, I would go search, open new tab, and then I would just open a new tab probably. It'd be the same thing as opening a new window, just a new tab. So that's what I would click. I don't think there's a specific button like it used to.
I bet that button was just a quick link to a new tab.
So yeah, just right click on search and then open it as a new tab.
It's like smaller, like you can see the whole thing in one page, but then just you have to just.
You can change the width of the columns too. This is training 201.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing 101.
Yeah, you can change the width of them.
You can
Yeah,
change-
you can change the width and then save it.
Okay,
And then,
Kate says there's 8 columns. I haven't checked it, but I think you.
oh no, there's a billion columns, but if you want to print it, pick your 8 most important to be at the side.
But I think you can also change the width of them.
Yeah, you can do
You
everything.
can, but when you print it, it does consolidate it
Yeah.
already. Yeah.
If you're searching for a condo, does it allow you to show the condos that everything is included in the maintenance?
It might have to be one of your
Certified
filters.
maintenance fees.
Based on the search, you can say, I only need the condos that everything is included.
I think through filters. I
Put-
mean, let's just do a
put on the
little.
bottom.
Yeah, let's do a practice. I gotta select condo.
Or what do you put in the search?
This is what we're gonna do.
All utilities, yes.
Okay, so let's do additional fields. So if you guys don't see the field you want, you go to add a field.
Yeah.
And it's at the very bottom. Let's see if there's one for maintenance. Oh, gosh.
It will be called
Utilities?
Maintenance fee.
Isn't that what he wants? Maintenance fee
Well, let's say the client say, I want a
No, you
condo
want the
that
utilities.
all the utilities are included.
on the maintenance fee though.
Water, heat,
It's part of your maintenance.
It's part of your maintenance fee though. Utilities would be more like rent or lease.
I don't think it's included in.
The maintenance fees.
You have to look at a condo listing.
I don't think it's an option. Let me see. Like there's maintenance,
That's the
but there's
price.
the price.
Won't break it down to,
All inclusive.
Yeah,
but not in detail. So it's either all or nothing.
but it says none. So I don't know if there's a lot of condos that
trust it.
would,
Yeah.
because it might skip taxes, it might skip common elements. Like if an agent misses one button, then
But if they want to say condo fee not more than 600.
yes.
Yes.
So under here, you can do maintenance and then say to 600. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't trust the all-inclusive either, just in case they missed one little checkbox. Yeah. Any other quick ones? After this, again at 2, they're gonna talk about searching. So they'll do a more in-depth.
And you know how, let's say you put assignment and the builder doesn't allow, so you put it for one day, then you take it off.
Mhm.
Then if you do unavailable, is there a search to search for the assignment only? Like,
I don't think it's that
like a
special.
remark for the brokerage and say,
You can search for remarks. You can
Remarks,
search
yeah.
for, you can search for client remarks, you can search for broker remarks.
But if they didn't
But
put it,
depends, but depends on
then
the listing agent, what they do, right?
usually we say this is assignment sell, so we can pick up.
Normally you put that in a broker remark or client remark?
But if you don't want to get in trouble, you might not put that at all either. So I still wouldn't trust it.
yeah. Yeah.
Depends on the listing agent, what they do, right?
Yeah. The other stuff you could do, like you guys can set your market areas. I don't know if that helps, but you'll have to be on top of it every day. But when you pick your market areas, if there's like an assignment area you've been watching, just at the end of the day, maybe you just check which ones were canceled and then you'll see which ones popped up. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really hard to find assignment specific.
In the way we had in the Stratus, that all the district, the field and, York, how would I know, so we sort it out?
Sorry, for which one?
To find out which districts and communities, municipalities.
Oh, like how to see it on the map?
Yeah.
The old trend map.
So what you do, so in your search, so to see like EO1 and all that, this is my hack. Someone else might have a different ones, but I usually go to map. And then what I would do is I would put in the address. So like say you have a listing or whatever, and you want to know. Then I would go to that little pin and put in the exact address of say your listing that you're going to. It'll give you a pin. And then you'll see map layers here. If you scroll down, you'll go to municipalities. And you'll click that, and then you'll have to zoom out a little bit, but you'll see that, for example, our office is located in EO7. So you can do it that way. You can have this map up and then put in the address of whatever specific you're looking for. If you're doing your clients only want a specific area, then you can just outline these little areas. You can even do communities as well. So if there's a specific community, like in Toronto, for example, your client wants to live and they only want to live in the annex, then you can specifically just search the annex and all that too. So that's all through map layer. Same thing with like turnover rates. If you guys are looking at specific farming areas that you guys want to do, you can do the turnover heat map. And it will tell you which ones are good. So the red ones are really good spots to do your farming areas in. They have a good turnover, so they've got lots of stuff on these maps and whatnot. Anything else? That's all we got. So yeah, we've got some realm training. So keep an eye on your email. You only have 2 more weeks of Stratus. So we know it's way better. We know we love it. We're trying to take the positive side of it all. We have no choice. So we might as well be happy about it. Than be negative, since that doesn't help either.
I thought the session last week was good. It was an hour and a half. It was very long, but
long.
It was very, very good. If you just stop and go that one there, that's a good session.
They never sent me the recording for it, so I don't have it yet, but I think there is a recording out there that we have sent in the past, so maybe I'll send that one, but not from last week.
Oh, we got
Other news, we've got Family Golf Day, August 14th. August 14th is golf mini putting. So let Jenny know if you're coming and if you're bringing your kids or spouse. What's that? And how many kids? So it is mini putt this year. So it's a little bit easier for the children and probably us, to be honest.
It's got a driving range.
And they have a driving range. And then final thing from me is we're still doing that sales competition right now, or contest. So I think we've got about 50 names in it right now. So if you guys put up a new listing from, I think it was July till August 12th, your name gets put into a draw every listing that you get, whether it sells or not. I think it's just if you get a listing,
new listing contract.
Not cancel relist, but new listings, sales, buyer sides, listing side.
Yeah. So you are all being put into draws. I think it started last week. So what was last week? July 1st till August 12th is what we're doing, because the first week of August is a long weekend. So we're going till August 12th and we'll draw a name at that Monday meeting.
Does exclusive listing count?
No, on the market. Live, fresh.
No leases.
And no leases. So we'll draw some names. It's going to be a money gift. Don't worry, we'll pay.
Can we list our own home?
No. 141.
Okay, so I want to talk about AI for a second.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
I'm okay?
Yeah.
Has anybody done any AI stuff yet? Artificial intelligence. Anybody know about it? Anybody read about it? Has anybody told you that it's going to change things? How it's going to change the world and everything's different, right? So apparently doctors are using it now too. They're saying like, how do I operate on a heart? And they'll tell them, right? So wait a second. So it says here, will AI replace realtors? Obviously not. I mean, realtors not going to replace realtors. AI is just a tool. But it's an amazing tool what you can do. There's one program that's out there. I don't know what the cost of it is, but it's got these stock photos of individuals. And what you do is you type in what you want the individual to say, and the lips will move to whatever you've done there, and away it goes. It talks, right? So kind of nice if you put your own face on there. I don't know if it'll be that sophisticated or not, but in any case, put your own face on there, and there. So if agents are not comfortable in front of a camera, not comfortable what to say, kind of nice to have your photo there. Type out what you want to say and let the avatar say it. I thought that was cute, but Ron O'Neill wrote in the Real Estate Magazine how realtors are using AI, and just some ideas for you there. First of all, ChatGPT called what was it, OpenAI? I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but anyways, I thought it was going to be a fee for service, but they're actually offering all these things for free. Like these things are all free platforms. So I'm not sure for how long, but they're all free platforms. So I was concerned about that. They've got a program here that OpenAI, which is part of ChatGPT, I believe.
Yes.
Right? Dropped a bomb on the entertainment industry by introducing us to Sora, S-O-R-A. The AI system can create 60-second videos from a simple one-line command. You can create real estate videos completely generated by AI. What's more impressive is simplicity using technology. So you can actually do now called Sora, where if you want to do a little 60-second little video for yourself, and you're not comfortable. A lot of people are not comfortable. The Katelyn's natural, right? She'll talk on the computer where you go. A lot of people don't have that natural skill, so maybe the AI might help you overcome that. The other thing they talk about here is when you're negotiating whether you're with your clients, doesn't matter if you're negotiating with your clients or with somebody else. You can ask the computer saying that I want to act as a real estate negotiator. I'm representing the buyers in the transaction. We just received an offer $20,000 above our initial offer on the property. The counter offer put in a price at fair market value. You can provide me 3 different scripts that I can use to speak to my buying clients to say about the counter offer exactly what's fair market. Can you give me the words to say? So you're asking the computer, tell me what I'm supposed to say to my client. You get that, Nelson? What am I supposed to tell my client?
Oh, yeah.
I get that often. What am I supposed to tell my client? What do we say? What do I do? How do I do? What do I do? So here it is. If you're stuck in the middle of the night, use this thing here, right?
Is it naughty?
Does anybody wants, people pay for real estate coaches, right? Why not use this as a real estate coach? It says here, I want to act as a real estate coach. Grade me on, okay, gotta read this properly. You know that you can now have a virtual conversation with ChatGPT. This is funny too. I've gone to ChatGPT and I said, thank you. And it writes back, you're welcome. Right? Now you can ask ChatGPT to be your real estate coach. Here's a great example of a prompt that I use to coach me. This is Ron O'Neill talking. I want you to act as my real estate coach. Grade me on the opening of my listing presentation. I want you to listen to the quality of the content for the listing presentation, plus my energy, cadence, and anything else you might help me with. So you're talking to the computer, you're doing your listing presentation to the computer, you're asking it to judge, to critique my listing presentation.
Good.
So you talk to the computer and the computer will come back and talk to you back. I think it's
Another app called Pi.
PIE. Yeah, I've looked at that. PIS. I use that too. What was it for them?
You.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Cool.
So they're not saying AI is going to take over the agent, but they're saying that the agents that start to use AI and put it into their business are the ones that are going to take you out of the business. That's
Well,
what I've been reading.
We all laughed years ago. Years ago, we laughed about computers going to take over real estate. Computers going to do this, and the computers going to do this, and this guy's going to come in with this new business model. And we all laughed, saying, "No, you're not going to replace the real estate agent. Real estate agent still got to shake a hand, still have to talk to the emotions, still have to deal with them going through." But what it did do, it did affect real estate agents. The real estate agents that didn't buy into it. The real estate agents that didn't keep up to speed or just didn't think it's going to go away or it's nothing to do with me. That's those, because here we are now. Realm.
Putting a blind eye to it.
Is anybody here in this room not open Realm yet? Nobody's going to put up their hand because everybody has, but I know you're all lying. A lot of people are going to wait till the time that the Stratus doesn't open, then they're going to have to be forced to do it. That's what's going to happen.
And then they're going to call us in a panic.
Just fine. We'll be here.
We're all going on vacation the day that Realm comes out, by the way. We're all leaving. So you're all on your own. So you need to learn now.
So the only issue I have with Realm right now is how long it takes when you hit the print button, how long it takes to set it up and go. I tried it from home. My home has my internet speed at home is like 400 milliseconds, whatever it is, like 400 or 500. It's slow.
Do you have the issue I have though? Because mine's set to default PDF, so it's making a PDF first.
Mine does that too, but mine's not slow.
My print goes to the last print job.
It doesn't recognize my print, not just my computer. It doesn't open it. I don't know why.
It just hangs, right? I've had to.
But doesn't open.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody's thinking that they're gonna maybe wait and maybe not do it on the 30th of July, it'd be that reason I would think.
So if you're having stuff like that, I would call Realm directly. Go to they have a Realm hub and they've got help desk phone numbers. I would call the techie guys.
That to me sounds like a pop-up blocker kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look in your bar and see if there's something red flashing, like it might not bring up
like a firewall or something.
Yeah. Okay. Any new listings anyone wants to talk about or anything that we didn't touch on today? Nope. So. Okay, let us know. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Monday.
So 2 o'clock, we got another session right now.
Yep, 2 o'clock.
15 minutes, you guys can hang out if you want to watch another hour of webinar. Otherwise, see you guys next week.
Have a good week.